Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. This is a journaling video working in my reading journal, and the book I'm looking at today is called Open Book by Jessica Simpson. I read this as a library book that I borrowed from our local library. Why I read it is because I read a sample on Amazon and was hooked. It's always a good indication that you're going to like a book if you get to the end of the sample and you want to read the rest. It was such an easy read, that little sample, and I was reading this as well because I do enjoy memoirs. I love getting to know about people's values and their life story, what makes them who they are, and what they see as their purpose or legacy in the world, and what drives them, all of that kind of stuff I really, really enjoy. And this book was, one of my favorites that I read this year. I gave it 4 stars. And it was just very, very readable, very easy to read. Jessica has this really lovely writing style, sort of conversational, very real and raw and honest, and in her voice. I love when you read a book and it's not formal and it's not hard work to read, but you can read it and you can hear the voice in your head, that type of thing, where it sounds like them. And that came across really well on the page. Another thing that I really resonated with right off the bat was how she journaled, and she often wrote, and that really resonated with me because I'm a journaler. I like writing, and I often use the material in my journals for my books and my memoirs that I write. So I definitely related to that. And I just found this book very, very inspiring. There was a lot of quotes that I wrote down that resonated with me, and that's why I've got these little label stickers, because I thought I could write some of the quotes on those to stand out a bit more off the page. And you can see this little library card on the left of my journal. That was what I used as my bookmark, and it was great because anytime I read a quote that resonated with me, I just wrote down the page number and wrote it down on that bookmark. So I'm just transferring some of those quotes from that onto this page. And just so much I got out of this. It was very, very inspiring for my life. Where do I start? She was talking about how she wanted to write her story, the story of her life, so that it would help others. I mean, that resonates with me right off the bat. As a writer, that's what I hope my writing can do, and the books that I write will do, is to help others. And that she said, where is it here? I've just got to read it. For her, songwriting, she saw that as her ministry. And I love that too, because I like, how whatever we put our hands to, whatever we're gifted with, talented, whatever talents that we have, and whatever we find that we get to do for however long, if it's with our life or just for a season of our life, that thing can be used as a way of bringing light and love into the world and making the world a better place. So I love that idea that she saw it that way, and that's because that's how I see things too. With whatever I do, I hope that it can be seen as ministry, in that it can hopefully bring a bit of heaven to earth and glorify God. And as a songwriter, and a journaler, she uses words and creativity as part of her ministry and her way of helping others. And that's kind of what I try to do as well with my words and with my art and with my writing and creativity. I hope to use that to to honor God and to let him be seen through my creativity and writing, and through my journaling, and even through my YouTube channel. Kind of see that as ministry as well, where for this season in my life, while I have a YouTube channel, it gives me some sort of outlet where I can use my voice and share stories where I hope that they bring something good into people's lives. There was this really cool thing where she started a prayer journal because her cousin had a prayer journal, and that really inspired me. And at the time, I had started my own prayer journal, so it was just like sort of confirmation and things lining up, and it just made me even more inspired with my own prayer journal. And after my 4-year sort of journaling break, hiatus from writing pages and pages in journals, I slowly through my prayer journal got back into writing, in getting to know myself through writing, in talking to God through my writing, which is what I used to do. But yeah, I guess one thing was I just felt so far from myself, so disconnected from myself, I realised. And one reason for that, I realised, was because I hadn't journaled the way I used to, where I'd just write all my thoughts and feelings on the page and talk to God on the page. That was how I connected with myself. I knew what was going on inside of myself. And it was just so good to have this prayer journal to write in every day, and slowly through that practice, that daily practice of writing, I slowly got into connection with myself again. And it was just really, really helpful for me and really cool that it lined up with the prayer journals that were mentioned in this book. And it was just super motivating and super inspiring and really, really cool. Another thing I really liked, another quote, was where Jessica said, "Compliments or critiques shouldn't define the value of our souls." And, she's a public figure, she's in the magazines, paparazzi following her, and so often the subject of criticism, and often it was about her weight and her appearance and how that made her feel, obviously that would make her feel bad, and so just how she ended up owning her body and owning her appearance, and just her journey to that was again inspiring, and how she came to this wonderful quote that I am totally in agreement with. Compliments or critiques shouldn't define the value of a soul, meaning when people praise you and when you get recognition and love and admiration from people, that should not define your worth, just as much as critiques and criticism don't define your worth either. That comes from, for me, my belief is that it comes from being made in the image of God, and it comes from our own self. If we don't love ourselves, it doesn't matter what anyone else says about us, whether it's adoration or whether it's hatred of us. If it doesn't matter, everyone could love you in the entire world, but if you don't love yourself, it means nothing. And at the same time, if everyone hates you and is critical of you and judges you, that means nothing if you love yourself. Well, I mean, you get what I'm saying with that. There's different sides to everything, but you know what I mean there, I hope. And then another thing that she said that I really, really loved: when you're judged, it's an opportunity to stand up and speak. And I took that to mean like this idea of when people judge you, it's an opportunity to stand up for your values and let people know what you value. And I love that. It's an opportunity, instead of seeing it as, oh, woe is me, this is terrible, which it is. It can feel really horrible, but instead of going to a place of darkness and depression and all that kind of thing, and shame and attacking yourself and agreeing with them, you can stand up and go, no, this is what I believe, this is my conviction, this is what I value, and I'm going to speak up about that. So for example, if people attacked her weight and her appearance, she could have gone, well, I'm just worthless because this is how people see me, and yeah, I do need to lose weight or something, and I agree with you. But no, she's like, no, I'm going to stand up for what I value, and that no matter what size, no matter what shape people are, we all have equal worth. And love that it's an opportunity. And perhaps instead of when you're attacked or judged, instead of shrinking away and not saying anything. I'm just going to leave this because, again, I've got more to say, that we can say something and I don't know, just stand up for what you do believe and what you do value, because that might help someone as well. For someone else who might be struggling in an area, if you can stand up and speak into that area, that lets them know that they can stand on their own 2 feet too, and that they don't have to be swayed by people's judgments and let their whole self-esteem and their whole worth, plummet just because of what people are saying about them. So yeah, I really got so much out of this book. And in a way it was kind of surprising. I've never actually been a huge Jessica Simpson fan, not that I didn't like her or anything. It was just, some people really absolutely adored her. Just with any celebrity or whatever, we all have people we're indifferent to or that we're not into or that we absolutely adore. For me, I wasn't a huge fan, and I know lots of people might judge her, especially because of her persona in the public eye of being, the dumb, ditzy blonde. And it was really interesting hearing her perspective on that. She was saying she didn't mind that too much because she felt like she was in on a joke, and she's kind of got this playful nature, funny, she cracks jokes a lot, that type of thing. So she felt like she was in on a joke because she knew that she was smarter than people saw her as, and so she was okay with them thinking of her that way because she knew the real truth. And you could tell that through her writing and, these deep quotes and these lessons that she's learned and the really hard things that she's been through. She's been through a lot. And so she's got a lot of wisdom that I saw and smarts about her. And that was really cool to get that insight. And like anything, it's just, we don't see what's going on underneath. We could see the perfect picture and not know that actually that person's gone through a lot of trauma or that person's struggling. And it can be so easy to just judge people. Oh, look at them, the perfect life. They're so this and they're so that. And that doesn't give you the right to judge them though. No. And especially when everyone struggles, everyone has, I think, traumatic events in their life, and everyone's dealing with things, and just don't judge people. I guess in a nutshell, the idea, don't judge people. And what you see in the public eye isn't the full story, even with her. She had this reality TV show, but she told us in this book, the readers, what was really going on behind the scenes, the struggles that she was going through. And you think you have so much access to people that you think you know them. You just don't. And it's just one side to them. It's just the public persona. And it's just, one side. Don't judge. Give people grace. All people have something to teach us. All people are beautiful. All people are interesting and have something worth sharing. And let's be just less judgmental and be more curious and be more intrigued by people. And that's how I like to see people, is everyone's got something to offer, and I want to find out what they have to offer. So share what you have, share your stories, share your talents, because I'm fascinated, I'm intrigued. I want to not miss out on everything that every person has to offer. And anyway, hope you enjoyed my rambling thoughts on this book. If you've read it, I'd love to hear what you thought of it too. And if you're going to read it, I'd love to hear if you're thinking of reading it as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to journal your life, because your stories matter. Bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in November. I hope you absolutely loved all of the extras this month. And if you would like to support me in December and get access to extra videos and printables, behind the scenes updates, and first access to any of my creations, the link is down below in the description box. The links are also down there to all of my journaling courses. The Reflections journaling course is running all through December if you would like to document your year for 2022. And If you would like to support my book fundraiser, the link is there to my GoFundMe page as well.